Hey guys, it's me. I have a bunch of makeup looks. I'm going with a simple look tonight. When I do my makeup, I start with a face primer. Ulta Prime poreless one. She always does me good. Use the NYX Buttermilk Glaze. And I'm gonna just do powder highlight today. Or not highlight, powder. So I did the Ulta and now I'm doing the NYX face glue. I like how it sits on my face. Actually use the concealer shade as a concealer. You could just do powder concealer and it doesn't last as long as like regular concealer with the powder, but it still is awesome. So on the top with this pink and then the white on the bottom. I think that'll look really cool. And then I'm gonna do really fun lippy from the Lip Bar. This is my lip liner, and then my lip shade I think is in my purse. And then for blush, we are gonna do our Janessa Myricks like red rouge. It's called Red Velvet Yummy Skin. I love this one. And then, yeah, we're just gonna do like a quick beat. Like this is a 20-minute beat that like looks legit. So let's actually use my, I'm gonna use my beauty blenders. Usually I use my brushes, and I will use my brush for the concealer and stuff, but like, because I know that I'm not doing too much, it's whatever. So because I'm not looking for anything perfect tonight, I'm not even gonna do color corrector. Usually I start with color corrector. And so I'm not a foundation, but because it's a skin tint, like it's buildable. And so I kind of have practiced how much I need. I usually start with a small amount. I just put it everywhere, under the eyes, all of it. Now, when I'm doing my regular makeup, I have like 7 different ways of doing my makeup just because I watch a bunch of different artists. Some artists build their foundation out, so they don't actually put foundation everywhere. They only put it on certain spots, which I realize can actually make your skin look a little bit more flawless, because then you're not actually like just putting like, you know, like a cake layer of paint, which is what I'm kind of doing right now. But I'm only doing that because I'm not really going super ham with like any coverage or anything like that. Like this will fade by the end of the night, slightly. Okay, so that's done. I'm not gonna do continuous spray right now. So I put that on water concealer. So this is the Fit Me Shade 360 Mocha. It's pretty light on me, so I just use it as like a concealer shade. And I usually put it on top of my whatever concealer. Like I usually just put it on top of my actual wet concealer, but now I'm just literally putting it on as if I was setting my face, but literally I'm just using it as like a powder concealer. And then I'm gonna spray it and like let it bake or whatever. And what's interesting is when you use powder concealer like on its own, it actually looks a little bit different, but it still kind of has the same like properties that it would have if you did like wet or whatever. As far as like brightness, it's not as bright, but it still does that thing. All right, so I just did that twice. I just kind of like looked down, patted it. Now I'm going to do this Morphe Life Proof Mini Continuous Set Spray. Ooh-wee! That stuff is a real deal. This one is different than the black bottle that I usually use. All right, so we did that. Usually I have a fan. Where is my fan? Ah, it's right here. So I like to use a fan because it just gets my makeup like a lot faster, right? Okay, so we got my fan. All right, so as I'm doing my makeup, now let's talk about what I did this week. So for meal prep this week, you guys, I really was focused on the strategies. So one thing I can tell you is if you're somebody who struggles with figuring out what to eat and when to eat it, it's hard. One of the things that I've learned through trial and error is when you're trying to lose weight or when you have a fitness goal, it is super duper important that you know exactly what you're trying to do and why. And if you don't, then it's going to be really hard for you to like set a goal that's attainable for yourself. So I know the number that I want long term, but I know the number that I want by the end of the year. The number I want by the end of the year is like in my head, and I know I can get there in a realistic way. I know when I have to go into hyperdrive. right now, because it's the school year, I can't do like, I mean, I could, but it would just be really stressful. And here's the thing, I was doing like a lot of the strategies that they tell you, like get up at 5, do all this stuff, da 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 da. But as a teacher and as my own self and who I am as a person, it just didn't work. You know, like I couldn't get up at 5 and then also do tutoring and make money on the side and pay off my debts and do all this stuff. Like I felt like it was just too much for me to handle. And that's like real shit, you know, like you can't do something that doesn't work for you. So I had to decide, okay, what can I do during the school year that's feasible to actually move the needle without having to necessarily go like 5 days a week in the gym with weights. I was like, well, you go 2 days a week in the gym with weights. It was still too much. Like weightlifting is stress. You are literally like destroying your body when you weightlift. And that's the point, right? You tear the muscles and then you rebuild them. Problem is the amount of energy I was exerting when I was going to the gym, it was just too much for me. I was like, yeah, like this is just a stressful activity. I don't want to do this. So because I knew that about myself, I decided that I was going to focus on my food. Now, I have been diagnosed with binge eating disorder back in 2020 when I went to therapy for the first time, and I've always struggled with overeating and stuff of that nature. I've done like binge eating support groups. I've done like work. I have like books on it. And it's all helped me build a better mental health relationship with binge eating, but nothing has ever really stuck with me as like a realistic strategy. Then I found this group online. It's called Half Size Me. And it's this woman who lost hella weight and she changed her life and all this kind of stuff. And the reason she was able to do that was because she found something that was realistic for her. She stopped dieting and she started like actually looking at what she was responding to in real life. Because the reality is we do respond to certain strategies. We do respond to certain things. The reality is it's not always maintainable for the long term. So you might like keto for the first month, 2 months, but then there might be a week where you get hella stressed and you have to know how to pick yourself back up after that. Meal prep for me was one of those strategies when I first learned about it, like way back in 2020. So once I realized, oh, I can use this as a way to focus on my goals and also control my food intake, it was a wrap. But the problem is food is such a strong coping skill for me. Once I get into stressful situations, I usually lose meal prep and I just go back to eating whatever I want, however I want, because it's just like the only gratification that I can give myself without being like destructive. Although I would venture to say that binge eating is destructive. It's not helpful. So when I do this meal prep, the goal is spend 4 to 5 hours planning all 3 meals because snacks will come naturally. It's so easy for us to buy snacks. It's so easy for us to be like, oh, I'm going to go buy this thing at the store or X, Y, and Z or whatever it is that you might want to do, right? Like those types of things we just naturally know how to do. But what I didn't naturally know how to do was find a strategy for myself that made sense as far as like being authentic to myself and being authentic to what I want in fitness and in life. Because it's really easy to say, oh, I want this, oh, I want that, right? But it's harder to act on the goals. And so this meal prep is a way for me to say, hey, I want to lose weight. And here's the first thing that I can control in a realistic way during the school year, every single day. And it starts with giving myself time. A lot of people are like, I don't want a meal prep for 4.5 hours. Okay, well, what would you rather do? Be fat and cry about it and say, I can't do anything? Or would you rather, like, that's kind of harsh, but it's true. It's like, what are you going to do to create a lifestyle that makes sense for you? And it's so cool. Okay, hold on. Oh, it's like super high. All right, there we go. Wow, this stuff is so cool. So this is the About Face Little Twin. Oh my God, this color is so dope. Oh my God, I love this look. It's so pretty. It's so girly. It's so girly. Okay. Yes. Now, what do you need to do in order to find peace within your meal prep? You need to find what the foods are that you naturally eat. Okay? You can go and look up low calorie meal on Pinterest. I mean, Pinterest really isn't the place anymore. I will tell you where I look up my foods. I go on TikTok because TikTok for me has almost instantaneous results. It's like if you go on TikTok, instantly it'll say 5 different recipes, 6 different recipes, 7 different recipes, blah, 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 blah. Very much so really help. Because when you cut sugar out, you realize how sweet a lot of shit is. And you're like, holy shit, I didn't realize I was eating that much sugar. So there is something to be said about doing like those kinds of diets. I'm not knocking them at all. But they are diets, and most regular people, okay? Most of us who work our 9 to 5s have an average amount of stress, or maybe an exponential amount if you have kids. Lord bless you. If you have that much amount of stress, then you are always going to feel some type of way about relief. Easy peasy relief. And that's what food gives you if you're someone who struggles with your weight. So you need to find a way to sustain yourself and relieve yourself without eating. And that's a true struggle for those of us who struggle specifically with food. Like that is a real thing. It's like, oh yeah, like this is hard because I want to do this thing. I want to eat the thing. I want to, blah, 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 blah. And that's why people struggle to lose weight, because it's not just about, I'm eating too much. It's serving a purpose. And so you got to make that purpose super unreal. Like you got to be like, no. Like I can do something else. I don't need to do all that. I don't need to eat food to make myself feel better because I got my ass beat when I was 10. Like whatever it is, any type of abuse, or even a relationship that you went through as an adult, or a terrible job situation or an unsafe situation you were in. Like none of that should be the reason why you're overeating. And if it is, then, to a certain degree, you probably need help, therapy, EMDR, meds, maybe. There's so many strategies and methodologies you could go. But my suggestion is to write down all those foods. What do you need, or what do you love to eat? If it's McDonald's every Friday morning because you like to get yourself an apple pie, like write that down. Be honest. And that's what meal prep is it's you being honest and saying, I'm allowed to eat this today. But just because I'm eating it doesn't mean that I shouldn't restrain myself. When people say eat everything you want in moderation, like they're not lying. So my meal prep this week allowed me moderation because I had a structure in place. Because I said, all right, I'm going to eat this, and this every day, this much a portion. I'm not weighing my food. I might at some point, but I'm not. I'm just saying eat whatever you want, but eat half of it. So I still do go to McDonald's, or not McDonald's. I don't like McDonald's. Burger King. I'm really into Burger King right now as a fast food. I do like going to Burger King and getting those chicken fries. I love those fucking chicken fries. I won't eat the burgers because fast food burgers for me, they just don't do what I need them to do. I'd much rather go to a, if I'm going to eat a burger, I'd much rather go to like, a burger spot. Like fast food burgers just don't hit like they used to for me. And so, if you are like kind of at that place, now I'm going to use my blending brush. And you're like, oh man, I like love the chicken fries at Burger King. Oh my God, they're my shit. Like I need them. I can't let go of them. This is going to be impossible. I can't lose 30 pounds. Like, first of all, the fact that you even, if that's a thought in your mind, just says that you need more structure. You don't need to give up Burger King for the rest of your life. You just need structure around it. When are you allowed to eat it? How often? Is it helping you? Is it hurting you? Are you aware of what you're eating when you're eating? Or are you just guzzling food down? Like, there's so many steps to meal prep being an awesome strategy for you if you're somebody who needs that. And most of us do need some sort of like guidance around food. And that's okay. I need more than most. I know some people that they just don't eat. I can't do that. I know people are like, just eat less. And I'm like, if I could just eat less, I wouldn't have these problems, bro. That's always the thing, is like, people are like, just eat less. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, I didn't fucking think of that shit. The fuck? That's just me being a brat. But like, you know what I mean? Like, come on now. So I'm not telling y'all to just eat less. I'm telling you, eat less, but like in a way that makes sense for you, you know? You can lose weight eating whatever. You don't even need to exercise. You just need to have a certain strategy of how much food you're allowing yourself to eat. So meal prep can help you with that. It really can. And that's why I like it so much, because, oh, I actually need a brush for this because it's going to look kind of crazy if I just use my blender. Okay. Like, that's why I feel like meal prep is so special. Because it really, oh shit, I'm like fucking up my nose. But yeah, that's why meal prep is so special, because it's like, okay guys, so hello. If you look at my hair has grown so freaking much. I look good with the black locks only. I want to dye my hair this summer, but I'm not sure what color. And I kind of like the black look. It's very sleek. Anyways, I am posting this Get Ready With Me, and I realized, you guys, I did not finish talking to you this video. It's a really good chat. The video is like 15 minutes long, so it doesn't need to be that much longer. But here, if you look right here, I looked fine. That was a finished makeup look. I went to go see The Devil Wears Prada 2. I liked it. It was a good movie. But there were definitely some parts of it where I was like, Andy could have done this, or Andy could have done that. Or like, I just felt like there was more that we needed from Andy, you know? So, yeah. Otherwise, it was a good movie. I am about, from that, it's been about a month since I created that video. So I'm still about 10 to 12 pounds down. My meal prep is going good. It's summer now. When I filmed that, it was still it was the end of the school year. Now the school year has ended. It's summer. So now we're focusing on stabilizing my weight loss. And I have a goal by the end of July where I'd like to be. And I've already started it. Like the process to getting there. So in that video, I was still in a relationship. I'm no longer in a relationship. I am a single lady. I may or may not do a video on that. I don't really think I will, but that is all you need to know. Because I believe I mentioned my boyfriend a couple times in the video, so it's good for people to know that like I no longer have one. But yeah, that video I was really just dropping a lot of gems about like how to meal prep, what I believe you should do, how it should affect the way that you move through like your eating schedule, and how it has to be really, really strategic. Otherwise you won't do it in a way that's like truly resonates with you, and it'll just be like another diet, and you may not stick with it long term and gain your weight back that you are actively trying to keep off for the rest of your life. All right, y'all, bye.